See here guys, so I have connected to one of my Windows machine in my lab. So it's a Windows 2012 R2 server, and it's basically with a 16 GB of RAM and with a 1 TB of hard disk. So now I want to use this machine to install the Linux operating system and for practice. Okay. So the Linux operating system installation will take more time, okay? So that we have to spend some time for today for installation, and we'll learn some basics, okay, simultaneously. Uh, I hope might be today we'll not able to see this installation. It will take more than 1 hour, the installation part. But I'll show you how to install from the scratch on Windows machine, how to install Linux operating system. In Windows machine, how to install Linux operating system. So today's session I'm installing desktop Linux operating system. Desktop Linux operating system. The version name is Ubuntu. Okay. So as I discussed yesterday, so I downloaded the Ubuntu. This is a Ubuntu 20.04. This is a model I downloaded. Okay, the ISO file I downloaded, approximately 2.6 GB size. So I could not directly install a Linux operating system on my system because it's already running Windows machine. I don't want to destroy or disturb my existing environment. I don't want to install directly on my physical computer. I don't want to disturb or destroy my existing environment. So for that reason, I'm using a software name called Vmware Workstation. A software name called Vmware Workstation. So in this batch, how many people don't know VMware Workstation? Can you please uh, ping on the chat, please? How many people don't know what is the meaning of VMware Workstation? I'm waiting for your response on the chat. If you really don't know, yes, we'll explain. Otherwise, we will skip this topic. Srikanth, no idea. Rajkumar, don't know. Right. So at least there are two people are responded actively. Thanks for your cooperation. So I'll explain what is meaning of VMware Workstation. So guys, the VMware Workstation, the workstation software is coming from VMware company. So you know, right, VMware is a virtualization technology products will be developing. So even VMware Workstation also is a virtualization product. So first we need to understand what is meaning of virtualization. Very simple example. So in a single computer, we can install multiple operating system. In a single hardware computer, we can run multiple operating system with the help of software. With the help of software. That software name called as hypervisor. So the hypervisor example is VMware Workstation. The hypervisor example is VMware Workstation. And same way, we have other hypervisor also is available. Like we have VMware ESXi, Citrix Zen Server, Microsoft Hyper-V. So these are the better examples. These are the better examples. So before you want to understand the VMware Workstation, so first I'll give you some brief information about okay, hypervisor. Okay, now So there are two types of hypervisor will be there. One is the type 1, okay, we called as bare metal hypervisor, and we have type 2, this is we called as host based hypervisor. So I'll give you example. So if the hypervisor software we can directly install on your physical computer, that is called bare metal hypervisor. So from there you can create your virtual machines. So once again I'm telling, the hypervisor software we can directly install on your physical computer, then you can start creating virtual machines. That means you can create your operating systems based upon your hardware configuration. And second one is a host based hypervisor. We cannot directly install on physical machine, so at least we need a operating system, so either Linux or Windows operating system we require. Okay, so without a operating system we cannot install. So now can tell me, now I'm installing VMware Workstation software on Windows operating system. So now anyone can tell me the VMware Workstation 12 is a type 1 or type 2?
So type 2.
Type 2, that's correct. So the VMware Workstation software belongs to type 2 based hypervisor. Okay. So what is the type 1 examples? Any idea? We have a ESXi, VMware ESXi, Citrix
Citrix Xen server.
Okay, so these are the examples. And type 2 hypervisor, we have VMware Workstation, Fusion, VMware Player, like a virtual box, uh, Oracle virtual box, virtual PC. Okay, so these are the better example for type 2. Please go for mute. Please go for mute. So this is a type 2 examples. Now anyone have any questions about VMware Workstation?
No.
Right. So let's move here. Now I already installed VMware Workstation. So it's a free software. We can directly install for 30 days. So the free trial will be provided. Okay. So we can download and install and we can practice it. Okay. So after download I'm installing. So where I need to practice my lab, so that's very important. So basically have my computer, so I dedicated for lab drive is of 520 833 GB of storage for lab practice. So in that we have a lab folder. So now I'm going to create one folder name called Ubuntu, because in VMware Workstation when I'm installing, all the files will be stored in this file. So under the lab drive. Okay, so lab drive. So what I'll do, create a new virtual machine, click on next, browse. So where is the software is available on the downloads? I'm selecting Ubuntu 20.04 ISO file. It's successfully detected. Click on next. And what is the name you want to give it for this server? Example, this is a Ubuntu server, right? So Ubuntu desktop, not a server, sorry, Ubuntu desktop. So what is the name you want to provide? Example, my name I'm providing Mahesh, and I can provide you the password. Welcome @123. Welcome @123. W is capital. Next, and the name should be like this, and where you want to save the file, so the file location I already told you, in the E drive. Under the lab folder we have a Ubuntu folder is created. Now click on next. Now this is a 20 GB selected. Yes, 20 GB is fine for us for practice purpose, and if you want you can make it 30 GB, no worries. Okay, store virtual disk as a single file. All 30 GB will be created as a single file. So click on next. So it will take 1 GB of RAM and 30 GB of a hard disk. So for better performance, I am providing 2 GB of RAM. Okay. Now I close it. Now click on fresh. Finish. So now before click finish, if you want after finish, do you want the machine to be power on automatically? You can select this. Otherwise, you can click finish. The machine will created in VMware Workstation. The machine will be creating in VMware Workstation. Right. The machine is created. Now just you have to switch power on the Ubuntu desktop. So now the virtual machine is start installing with the help of software. So I told it take more than 1 hour. So because of this, a huge amount of files will be downloaded, and it will be extracted from the CD, and it will be installed. So see, this is a checking disk. So it will take more time. So I'm just leave it as it is. Okay. At least you can watch for next 2 to 3 minutes how the setup will be installing. And if you want to go for a maximizing the screen, you can click on full maximize the screen like this. So if you don't want to check the files, you can control C to cancel all the file system checkups in progress, so that it will be continue for next screen. Okay. Better you can leave it, so it will check entire files will be properly it is available on the drive or not. It will check that in ISO disk. If any files are missing, so installation will not continue, so it will be terminated in between the installation. So this is normal installation, guys. Okay. So you have to wait for until the installation to be completed. Okay. But I have another way without wasting of your time and my time. I'll be switched to cloud, and I will be creating a Linux machine, same Ubuntu, and I will be practicing today's class. Understood? Do you have any questions? So now I'll be switching to AWS. Okay, for how to create AWS account, if you want, okay, I can share my YouTube video, so you can go to my channel and you can check that how to create AWS account. And after the AWS account created, so this is your main screen in AWS management console. Okay, after with your username and password, you can create a Linux machine with the simple steps. Next 3 to 4 minutes, I'll create a one Ubuntu desktop for you. Okay, see here how to create Ubuntu desktop with the simple steps. Go to services. There's a first service name called EC2. So this is called infrastructure service. So now I'm going to create instance. So launch instance. So it will be displaying both Windows and Linux operating system here. So you need Ubuntu, right? You can type Ubuntu. See, this is a Ubuntu desktop will be showing here. Now I'm selecting only free tier eligible because of we are not using paid versions in Amazon Web Services. So in the during the training, so I'm selecting only Ubuntu server 16.04, which I download is a 20 version. It is a older version. Okay. So once everything is good, everything is tested, then only they'll be moved to the production. Until unless, so they will not move to the production. That means in a AWS console. Now I'm installing Ubuntu Server 16.04. Click on select, and by default I'm selecting with a 1 CPU, 1 GB of RAM, and I'm creating only one machine, and this is the 8 GB of storage we'll be taking now. We don't require much storage, 8 GB is enough. So now click on add tags. What is the name we are giving for this machine? Okay, name is Ubuntu, Ubuntu 1. Next, security configuration, use existing security configuration. That means they will be allowing a port protocols. Okay, now click on review on launch. So when you click on launch, so it will ask the key pair. So you can watch my channel. So I'll explain clearly what is a key pair and how to create Windows instance and Linux instance once again. Okay, now I'm selecting a default key pair name. uh, what is the name I will select now? 1 minute. RDS Linux key pair. Okay, I'm selecting RDS Linux key pair launch instance. Now click on view instances. It will take minimum 3 minutes. The machine will be creating. Okay. So meanwhile, we can check our installation progress. See, the installation progress is now. Our Ubuntu server is successfully running now. So the status checks only showing is initializing. So it will take 1 more minute. Okay. So meanwhile, we will refresh it. Yes. So 2 out of 2 checks also completed. Now I want to connect to my Ubuntu desktop. So now I'll be copying the public IP address. So minimize. So this is a putty. Now I'm pasted here the IP address. Click open. I'm trying to connect with the putty software my Ubuntu server remotely. So how we are using Windows machine, we are connecting with MSTS. So there's a network protocol error. So there's a problem with, there's issue with security group. So this is a security group. Okay. In inbound rule, I need to enable SSH port number I need to enable. So what should I do? Click on security group here. Go to inbound, click on edit. SSH from anywhere I just selected. That means the port number SSH22 I can connect from anywhere. So that is the meaning. Once again connect putty, open the IP address, and actually we want to connect with SSH with the respective PPK file. This is the PPK file. Open, click S. By default username is ec2-user. 1 minute. I'm taking another mission, so that also will be ready. Open ec2-user. Yeah, it's successfully connected. So the Linux Ubuntu server is connected with a putty remotely. So the server is running on AWS cloud. So when we are connecting first time, or when we are creating a new Linux missions, only CLI user interface only we will get. GUI interface will not get it. So guys, if you want get it a GUI interface, we want to install some additional packages. We need to install additional packages onto the mission. Okay, so guys, even I didn't practice any time for GUI based access. It's not needed for us. So mostly we will use CLI method only. If you need a GUI access also, this is a document which is given by AWS, and also this is a recently published in 2020 May 15th. Okay, so now we can go ahead to practice this. Okay, now I share the document on the chat. You can please go ahead to practice it. Okay, now so this is your Linux machine, and whatever the commands when your practice purpose, you can create yourself. Okay, so now we are into the dollar symbol. So dollar symbol is a normal login access. It's not a root user access like a super user access. If you want to log into super user access, you can type the command name called sudo su super user. You will be logged into the super user. See, with a ec2 hyphen user, we will be logged in. Okay, and with a hash, and the below one we will get a root option. So actually there is a line will be going. So 1 minute. See, root. So previously it is normal user, right? Now it will be a called root user. So that means you have a full privileged access. You can run any type of commands. You can run any type of commands. Okay, fine. 1 minute. Actually, I forgot the command. I'm a normal user. I want to access to my Ubuntu desktop. How should I access my server and where it will save the data? So where I can execute my works. So basically, in uh, in your in your server, so we have a cd stands for change directory. We have a directory name called bin. Okay, we have a directory name called bin directory. So there's a normal user, whatever he execute any kind of programs, it will be running on the bin folder. Okay, so if you want to check what are the files are there, all the files which is related to the bin or the related to the bin. Example, I'm a super user. Can I run the program? Some privileged program I'm running. There is a kind of additional privileges task I can run. So if the bin is used for normal user, if I'm user, if I'm a user, I'm a super user compared to the normal user, I want to run some programs. So my programs will not run on the bin. So I have a program name called so sbin. So cd space sbin. So in the sbin called super bin, so there we can execute with the super execution commands, right? So now you can check here what are the files are there, guys. We cannot read and all the files here, so just you can go and check that. Okay, so next I want to go back to the main screen. So currently I'm in sbin drive folder. So I want to come back. You can type the command name called cd. So you'll get like this. You'll come back to the main root directory. And I'll explain one by one. Files will be there. So I'll explain it. So for that reason, I'll be creating a separate Linux file system. Okay, so one is bin, another one is sbin. Okay, and next one is a boot, guys. Boot. So in the boot level, all the boot images will be running. So let's go here, cd space boot, and you can type ls. All your boot images will be running. So mainly we have called as grub. So when the system is running, when your system is running, before that there are some support files, RAM files will be running on your system. So if these files are deleted or might be removed, so your operating system cannot be run smoothly. So we will get some problem. So mostly this this boot folder, the size between the 200 MB to maximum 500 MB. Okay, so this all your boot images like supporting files which will help you to start your operating system. It will support your operating system. So that's what we are using boot drive. So come back. The next folder name called etc. The next folder name called etc slash cd slash etc. So what is the use of etc drive? This is a host specific. Host specific means the computer specific configuration files will be saved here. All 90 to 98% of the files will be saved in this etc directory. So example, you can check here all your system configuration files, all your system configuration files. So if your screen is coming like this, if you want to clear, you can type the command called clear. There's a command name called clear. You can type this. Your screen will be come back to the first line and it will be empty. So next, DEV. So we call as device. We call as device. CD space DEV. All your device files will be saved here. Example, CD-ROM, DVD-ROM, okay, and pen drive, etc. All your devices will be supported with this file. So example, if I'm typing here, you can check here. So if any devices, if you're mounted, so if you connected there, so you can able to check here. So next, home directory. So you know, right, normal user home path. So example, see now which user I'm using to connect the machine, EC2-user, right? So whatever the work I'm presenting on the home user, so all the users will be listed in the home drive. Example, at present AWS was created a single username called EC2-user. With that name only I connected today. If you need additional user, we can create it. So going forward, we'll learn and how to create a new user and how to provide access and all. So next, we have another file name called library files. Library files. So there are two types of library files will be there. One is the lib and another one is lib64. So if any lib is nothing but it is a 32-bit architecture files, the softwares will be installed there. and if you have any 64-bit will be running on 64 lib folder. See here, this is a 32-bit, and I'm come back here again, I'm change it slash this is a lib 64-bit architecture files. Come back, cd, clear screen. Now we have another drive name called media. Okay guys, this is a by default, it's empty, there is no files are there. So you know, whenever you buy a new mobile, so after you connecting mobile with the system, so there is a media folder will be presenting, will able to see in the file explorer. Did anyone remember those
Yes,
concepts?
yes.
So by default it will be empty. By default it will be empty. So what is use of this folder means, it starts with 0 only. If anyone wants to connect the media to the system, we need to read this file, right? We need to read the pictures, video files, etc, etc. So we need some temporary drive to view the files in the Linux operating system. So this media drive will help us to view the files which is any mounted devices, example mobiles. And same way we have one more drive also is there, that is called mount drive, that is called cd/mnt, is called mount. So like your mount like a pen drive, so you can directly plug and play. So we need a mount. Once you're mounting means we have to see the drive information on the system. So there is an empty mount drive will be there, there's a folder, so which will help you to mount any external drives to the system. So I think this is also will be empty, I don't have any data inside it because of I didn't connected anything there. Come back, cd and clear screen. So next we have another drive name called opt drive. opt drive, guys, if any install any third-party applications, okay, if any install third-party applications, it will be saved in the opt drive. It's called optional drive. Example, except Linux, like we are installing Google Chrome application, okay, we are installing Mozilla Firefox, so that will be saved in the opt drive. So example, this SUSE this Ubuntu desktop or Ubuntu server is basically from the Linux, but AWS was customized, right? Customized this operating system, so that means AWS is a third party for Linux. Did you accept now? So now for that reason AWS folder is visible here. So some files are loaded in the opt drive. Got it? So next drive name called pros, okay, cd space proc, this is called process drive. So all processing related files will be saved here, like example hardware, system inventory files, etc, etc. So I'm typing ls, so see that all your drivers, keys, misc files, modules, all these things will be saved here. Come back, clear screen. Now we have a very important drive name called root, cd space hyphen root, this is called root drive. So currently I'm in root drive only, understand, currently I'm in root drive. So what is a root here? Mainly, he is a full administrator. He is a full administrator. So example, if you are typing here, so in the root user, he created only a desktop file. If you want to see the desktop, you can check here. I don't know how to open. 1 minute. CD space. Yeah. See, is there any files in desktop? No. So whatever the root user will be performing any work like creating some files, folders, all the information will be saved in the desktop itself. Okay. So next we have another drive name called run. Okay. So basically we are creating subdirectories. Okay. We are creating some subdirectories, hmm, like NFS, Samba, and some other services they'll be creating, right? So all your kind of work will be created like a LVM, logical volume manager, log files, so file logs, so these are the main files will be saved here. Okay, so that we can use this file for running any kind of other services like a Samba, NFS files, Netto file services. Okay, so they'll be using this. So all the related files will be saved here. So why these many folders, the drives are created in the Linux operating system, but compared to the Windows, we have a very less files. Huh? So why Linux is creating these many files? Any idea? So basically, for security reason, so the each task, okay, each task they'll be separately, they created in separate drives. Understood? So that's what they'll be created in separate drives. And next, we have a SRV drive. So in SRV, if you're running any services, okay, service related directories. So at present we are not running any services here. If you run any services related thing in your server, it will be running on this directory. So next directory name is system directory. So the system related information like classes, devices, okay, file systems, okay, all these things will be saved here. Example, hypervisor, kernel, module, power, so block level information. So all these things will be saved in the system information, in the sys folder. Okay. Now we have a very important folder name called the temp folder. Okay, temp, temp directory. So what is the use of temp directory? Any idea? Example, you want to run some application software on the system, so you should not run applications in all the drives. So The temp directory is a full administrator access for all the users in the system. You can copy any files into the temp directory, you can install it. Okay, any user, so like normal user, root user, anyone you can use it. But we cannot delete the temp directory. So next we have USR drive, This is called user drive. So Linux is keep on updating the technology, right? So evaluating the product, and they'll be enhancing some new features, right? So during the process, there are some old architecture files still they'll be running on the system in the folder name called user directory. This is called local system related drive. So mainly it will be used for old architecture files will be there. Okay, and finally we have one more drive name called var files. var so var So this is your directory files basically. So here uh, the related for all the system related things, service related things, and logs related things will be saved here. Example, today I power on the machine, I shut down the machine, I reboot the machine, I crash some files. So everything will be saved in the log files. If any time the system is got crashed, so your the Linux administrator will capture the log files and they will be analyze it. So what's the problem the system inside of the system. So these are the main files, guys. So in the Linux machine, so every administrator you should know about that. What are the files? What is the responsibility they do? So any questions? Any questions, please? Okay, so now I'll be finishing the next 5 to 10 minutes. Some commands I want to explain. These are small commands. Okay, I'll show you. So the basic commands. So whatever the commands you are typing in Linux, it should be in a small letters only, no caps. Okay, and example, there's ls command. It is kind of it's a list of directories. We'll use for list of directories. So that's the purpose we are using. And if example, if you're typing any wrong command, so you're unfortunately, okay, so please use a backspace to clear the command, or else if you want to jump to the next line without execute, you can use the uh, shortcut is a control C. So it will not execute the command and it will jump to the next screen. It will be jump to the next screen. Understood? So the next, right, clear command, so clear the screen, or else we have another command called control L. Control L also, control plus L also, it will be clear your screen. Control L clear, or control L will be helping us to clear your screen. And example, you want to check the date, so it will check the date in your system. Okay, and what is the time zone and the date and time, the information will be saved here. Example, you want only the date should be in a specific format, like you can type like this. So date space plus percentile d hyphen percentile m month percentile year. So if you want, you can give like this also. You want only this kind of format. Okay, so either you can give date, either you can give the date space plus percentile d hyphen percentile m hyphen percentile y. So you can check the date here. Okay, so you can use a command called man date. So what are the commands are available, it will be execute here. So it will be showing and you can check. So in what format you want to check that. Okay, so what is the command? Man date, man space date. Now clear screen, Control L. So press H for help to quit or Q for quit. So now I am clearing the screen. Now you want to check the calendar. So this is a way you can check the calendar. CAL, calendar, not calculator. Okay, maybe calc is working. No, it's not working. Okay, so cal is a command. Example, you want a specific calendar, you want to check that. So cal, example, my uh, date of birth year I want to check month. Okay, example, my month is 7, okay, in 1987. So now I can check this. So this is a July 1987. So the calendar I can directly check here. So this is a way I can able to check that the specific calendar with the month, okay, during that year. And you want a specific example, we have a command called cal -3. So present month, future month and past month. So there are 3 months will be showing here. So this is also a command we are using this. Okay, cal -3, sorry, -3, not minus, it's -3. So next, Control L. So I want to create a file in root directory. How to create? So example, we have a command called cat command. You can give the cat, you can give space, and you can give greater than symbol. You can type the file name. Example, my file name is a test. Okay, yes, I created a test. So what do you want to enter in that file? Example, hello world. Okay, so now you want to save the file. So very simple, Control C. Now save the information. So do you want to check the information inside that file? How to check? Very simple. You can type same command cat without greater than mark. You can type the file name. See, cat space test. So now seeing the information, cat space test. And so we have a command called cat hyphen and then file name. It will show you the how many lines in that file. So it will be clearly showing here. It will be clearly showing here, right? So next, you want to check that files information in the directory. You can use a command called ls. See here, so previously we have a desktop. Now I created newly test. Okay, test. Okay, fine. And you want to check the uh, full details, like we have in a tabular column format like that, which is a old, which is an latestly created. So we have a command called ls space uh, hyphen ltr. So this is a way you can check this ltr. So what is the meaning of ltr? So list time reverse recursive. Reverse recursive means, so when it is created, when it is created. So in June 6th the desktop file is created. and 24th June, I think. Sorry, what is the 6th? I don't know. Yeah, is the 28th is created desktop at the time is 13:21, and June 28th 14:40 it's created test. So this is a way we can check this. And you want to check the current directory. You want to check the current directory. Yes, we have a ls-d is the current directory. We'll be checking this. So we are currently checking in is dot. So what are the directory will be showing here? And we have another command called pwd, present working directory. So /root. So I'm currently in root directory. I'm currently in a root directory. Same way, if you want to check the IP address of the system, you can check this ifconfig. Ipconfig will not work on the Linux operating system. Ifconfig. See, this is a local IP address. This is a private IP address 10.10.0.163. This is a local IP address. Okay. Now you want to check this is a current the correct IP address or not. Yes, we can check that. 10.10.0.163. I'll go to AWS Management Console. Uh, see 10.10.0.163. This is IP address. Yes. So any more questions, please? No questions?